pull into the school parking lot and you see her car. Before you can think a single thought, your chest tightens, your jaw locks, your hands grip the steering wheel like it owes you money. Your heart is already pounding, your breathing has already changed, and the wildest part, you haven't even got out of the car yet. Your body reacted before you even knew you were reacting. Here's what most people will tell you about moments like that. They'll say, just stay calm. They'll say, don't let it get to you. They'll say, you need to control your emotions. And you've tried. You've tried so hard to stay calm. But here's what nobody told you. Your body learned to react that way, which means, and this is the part that changes everything, your body can learn a different way. Let's go back to the parking lot moment. What actually happened inside your body? When your eyes register a threat, and right now your ex has been categorized as a threat by your brain, the signal takes two paths. The first path, so called it the low road, it shoots you directly from your eyes to a part of your brain called the amygdala. That's your brain's alarm system, and it gets there in roughly 12 milliseconds. 12 milliseconds. That is faster than a single blink of your eye. The second path, the high road, goes through your thinking brain, your prefrontal cortex, the part that can reason, plan, and weigh options. That path takes more than 250 milliseconds to come online. So here's the maths. By the time your thinking brain even shows up, your alarm system has had 238 milliseconds head start. In that head start, your amygdala has already sent a distress signal to your hypothalamus, which fired up your sympathetic nervous system, which told your adrenal glands to flood your bloodstream with adrenaline and cortisol. Heart rate spiking, blood pressure climbing, muscles locking up, breathing going shallow, stomach dropping. All of that happened before you had a single conscious thought. So when someone says, just stay calm, they're asking you to use a system that arrives 238 milliseconds late. That's not a willpower problem. That's your biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain wasn't born reacting to your ex this way. It was trained. And understanding how it got trained is the key to retraining. You've probably heard of Pavlov's dogs. A scientist rang a bell every time he fed his dogs. After enough repetitions, the dog started salivating just at the sound of the bell. No food needed. The bell alone was enough. That's classical conditioning. Your brain takes two things that show up together often enough and welds them into one automatic response. Now think about your co-parenting experience. Imagine this. Her name lit up your phone screen and it was a hostile message. Her voice came through on a call and it was an accusation. Her face appeared at a custody exchange and it was followed by a scene in front of your kids. Her lawyer's letterhead landed in your mailbox and it meant another financial hit. Your phone made that ding and your stomach dropped before you even saw who sent it. Over and over, dozens of times, maybe hundreds. Every single pairing taught your amygdala the same lesson. This person means pain is coming. And at some point, your brain stopped waiting for the pain to actually arrive. It just started reacting the moment it detected any trace of her. Her car in a parking lot, her name on a screen, a perfume that smells similar, a voice that sounds close. Scientists call this stimulus generalization, where the trigger spreads beyond the original source to anything connected to it. A courthouse you've never set foot in still makes your stomach drop because courthouses now equal conflict. The school pickup line feels like a minefield because school means possible contact. Your brain is not broken, it learnt this. Exactly the way Pavlov's dogs learn to drool at the sound of a bell. If you've been in a high conflict co-parenting situation for a year or more, you may have noticed something alarming. Their reactions aren't fading, they're getting stronger. Things that barely bothered you in year one, a text notification, a scheduling email, now make your heart pound like you're about to walk into court. There's a reason for that. Neuroscientists call it sensitization. Some researchers use the word kindling. Here's how it works. Every time your alarm system fires in response to your ex, every hostile exchange, every court appearance, every late night email, it doesn't just react and reset. it recollaborates. The threshold drops. The trigger sensitivity increases. The alarm fires faster, harder, at smaller and smaller cues. Think of it like a smoke detector that gets adjusted after every fire. Except instead of making it less sensitive, each fire makes it more sensitive, until eventually it's going off when someone opens the oven. If you're sitting there thinking, why am I getting worse at this? Why can't I handle this by now? I need you to hear this. You are not getting worse at handling it. Your alarm system is getting more skilled at detecting it. That is not a personal failing. That is biology protecting you the only way it knows how, by becoming more vigilant. Good news, and there is genuinely good news, is that the same brain that learned to kindle can learn to do something different. Because this wasn't always your wiring. This was installed by experience. And experience can install something new. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, great, so my brain is literally wired against me, I need you to hear this. That wiring can be changed, and I'll show you how in a moment. But if you want the practical companion to what I'm about to share, I made a free guide on the 3 regulation techniques I use before every custody exchange. The link is in the description. It pairs exactly with what comes next. Here's what neuroscience actually shows about changing these automatic responses. For a long time, scientists believed that once a fear response was wired in, you had to erase it, delete the old file, get rid of the memory. But landmark research from neuroscientists Mohammed Milad and Gregory Quirk proves something far more useful. You don't need to erase the old response. You need to build a new one that's stronger. They discovered that when an animal successfully faces a feared trigger without the expected pain, over and over, something physical happens in the brain. New neurons in the prefrontal cortex begin firing in response to that trigger, and those neurons actively suppress the amygdala's alarm. The researchers found that the animals who showed the least fear had the strongest prefrontal cortex firing, not the animals who had their memories erased, the animals who had built a stronger competitive response. Think of it like 2 tracks in your brain. The old track says, see her, sound the alarm. The new track says, see her, I've been here before, I'm safe right now, engage the brake. Every single time you successfully regulate in the presence of a trigger, you are physically strengthening the new track. And recent research shows that this isn't just a change in behavior. Successful regulation actually grows new physical connections, new dendritic spines in the prefrontal regions that break the alarm. Your brain is literally building new architecture every time you practice this. So how long does it actually take? And what does the practice look like? I'm not going to give you a magic number, but I am going to give you an honest one. When researchers at Stanford tested a simple 5-minute daily breathing exercise, cyclic sighing, which we've covered in earlier videos, participants showed measurable improvements in mood and physiological calm within 28 days. An 8-week mindfulness protocol showed reductions in amygdala reactivity. Heart rate variability training, which directly strengthens your vagal brake, shows results in 4 to 8 weeks. And the largest study on how long it takes for a new behavior to become automatic found a median of 66 days. So the honest answer is 4 to 8 weeks of deliberate daily practice. 6 weeks is a realistic research-backed commitment. And here's what that practice looks like. Before you see her, pre-exposure before a custody exchange, a court date, or a school event where contact is likely, 5 minutes of cyclic sighing, 2 quick inhales through the nose, 1 long exhale through the mouth. You're not doing this to feel better in the moment, although you will. You're doing it to preset your nervous system so the low road fires into a system that's already tilted toward calm. In the split second during exposure, the moment you feel the reaction start, the chest tightening, the jaw locking, 1 physiological sigh. Double inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. That single breath activates your vagal brake faster than any thought or mantra. It doesn't stop the old track, it activates the new one. After the encounter, post-exposure, this is a step almost nobody talks about, and it might be the most important one. After the exchange, after the court appearance, after the school event, takes 60 seconds to register what actually happened versus what your body predicted would happen. Your alarm system said, danger is coming. But what actually happened? You survived it. Maybe it was uncomfortable, but the catastrophe your body prepared for didn't arrive. The moment of recognition, the threat my body predicted didn't match reality, is what scientists call a prediction error. And prediction errors are the raw material your brain uses to update the old track. Pre-exposure, during, post-exposure. Every time you run that sequence, you are laying one more brick in the new track. At 2 weeks, it still feels like effort. At 4 weeks, you start catching the reaction earlier. At 6 weeks, some moments pass and you realize your body didn't fire the way it used to. And that's not positive thinking. That's not a mindset trick. That's new architecture, built rep by rep. One more thing. The fact that your body reacts that way doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means something happened to you repeatedly, and your nervous system adapted the way nervous systems do. The question was never, why can't I control this? The question is, how do I retrain this? And now you know. If you want a specific technique you can start using today to begin building that new track, watch my video on the 3-minute technique that changed my co-parenting. It's the practical companion to everything we covered here. And if you want a step-by-step guide to navigating this entire journey, download the free High Conflict Co-Parenting Survival Guide in the description below. I'll catch you on the next one.